Welcome to Top Employers Inspire. 3 days of expertly curated content for you to get the most insights from the world of work. It is very much our aim to inspire with purpose. We are, as Top Employers Institute, on a mission to make a positive impact on the world of work. And we embrace that purpose also by sharing as many insights from my certified top employers as possible, just like we did over the last almost wrapping up 3 days of Top Employers Inspire. So we had a bunch of inspiring sessions and we still have 2 more up ahead. I previously would say just to name a few, but there's only just one after this one. A nice one because it's very much a future-looking one. So it's not any best practice that has been going on currently, but we're going to look into the future and we're going to touch upon the fundamental shift that is taking place in HR. So if you want to attend that one, please register for it. And that will also, if you attended more Top Employer Inspire sessions, then you definitely had the biggest return on learning investment. So for now, we have certified top employers Dana International and JYSK Hungary, and their session is on global strategy and local needs. So I'm happy to connect live with our highly valued senior HR account manager, Davide, and account manager, Nuria.
Hi there.
You're both here, right?
Yes, we are.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. It looks like a solid stream we got there happening from live Amsterdam headquarters, Top Employers Institute, to our hub in Spain. Are you both located there now? I'm not sure
Yes, we
if
are.
you're both at the same place.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Love how we can connect all over the world. So Davide will, together with Nuria, do the short introduction, and Davide will moderate the session as well, and Nuria will moderate the Q&A after. And after that, you will see me for a small closure. So I'm looking forward to this group conversation with 2 top employers. You see me later on. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Wouter. So here we go. Our guests are actually appearing as well. So just to do a very brief introduction to add what Wouter was actually mentioning. Today we try to focus on not a specific topic, so not a specific best practice, but on something that could be like transversal and I hope very helpful for the public to understand and how many topics can this topic as well touches. So first of all, I'm Davide. I'm Italian, as you can get from the accent. I'm based here in Valencia with Nuri as well. I joined Top Employers 9 years ago, and I will try to do my best to moderate this session. Then I have Nuri as well, Agi and Zsolt. Feel free, please, to introduce yourself. Nuria.
Perfect. Well, I'm Nuria. I'm based in Spain, as David mentioned it, and I'm Spanish. And today I'm going to moderate the Q&A slot. And just one thing before we start is if you have thoughts, doubts, or questions popping at your mind during the conversation, so please don't hesitate to put it in the chat. And after the session at the end, we will answer the questions.
Okay, regarding Zsolt and Agi, I would like actually, if you can, to do a different introduction. Of course, you can focus on your job title, your responsibility, your experience, whatever you want. But also, if you can mention 1 or 2 or 3 hashtags in order to present yourself, would be nice. Would be a different way actually to do this a bit more informal. And could be anything, could be something related to hobby, professional, non-professional, whatever. So, your turn. Maybe you can start, Agi.
Okay, hi, hello, hi everyone. My name is Ágnes Nyeste from JYSK Hungary. I'm working as HR manager in Hungary right now since 2018. And the first hashtag I would use is proud to be JYSK, because actually I'm quite passionate about HR and I'm quite proud that I can work for a company and live up by the values of a company, which is the JYSK. And I'm so proud of that. We have this kind of company culture I can provide. The second hashtag is that mom of two boys, because I have two kids, 1 year old boy and a 5 year old boy, which makes me so active, besides my work, of course. And the third hashtag I would choose is hashtag solution seeker, because I would say this is one of my strengths, that no matter what, in professional life or private life, for me it's quite easy to find solutions for a kind of problem which occurs from two, three different angles. Maybe I'm not the one in the team who is the most accurate one, but the one who has two, three ideas at least to solve an issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
So welcome everyone. My name is Zsolt Tánczos. It's a Hungarian name. I'm responsible for compensation and benefits and HR projects in Europe. For my hashtags, I would say team player. So alone we cannot achieve anything, but with the team we can be really the winner. So this is, I think, very, very key in our daily work. The other hashtags I would use is multicultural. So from my name, you can see it's a Hungarian name. But I studied and used to live in Germany 20 years long. And now I'm living here in Switzerland since 12 years. So I'm familiar with other cultures, other nationalities, all the positive and negative sides of moving countries, different locations within a country, and so on and so on. The next hashtag will be a fun person. So I think life is too short to be sad and boring. So let's fun at private and work. And the other two hashtags, I'm a family person. I have two children as well, a 23-year-old daughter and 21-year-old young man. And with my family and with my wife, I'm really enjoying to be outside. So I'm an outdoor person as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, both. So as you, from the public, actually, as you can understand, they have different roles, even within the HR department. So Agis got more a local view, and Zsolt has more a global one. Okay, so that's the purpose of today. If we actually go deeper into details, and we start with the first question. Introducing the first question will be my purpose. So first of all, what I want to do before I ask them this is actually to share with you some data. This is the percentage corresponds to number of top employers companies that are adopting this practice in a consistent way. So just to summarize that, cascading is a very important concept, above all when you are collaborating between global, local. So what we realized from our studies that the majority of the companies of the top employers 94%, are adopting formalized people strategy communication. That's important if you decide to do it top down or bottom up. 89% are using and adopting key HR metrics, very well defined. 67%, because of course the percentage is less, but it's a more advanced best practice and a direct consequence of the second point, they adopting HR scorecards for business leaders, and 95% are adopting an evaluation of people strategy executed by the executive management. So the link between business and HR is crucial and fundamental nowadays. So considering this, $1 million question for our guests. Accepting the fact that nowadays, again, companies are formalizing processes. In the majority of the case of multinational companies from headquarters, they are cascading the process, the policy, the best practice to the local countries. Agi and Zsolt, can you please mention one, two, or three or more crucial aspects of having a policy that's coming from headquarters? And I would like you to underline your perspective. So Agi from a local perspective and Zsolt from the global one.
Yes. So JYSK is quite a conceptual retail company, which means that in the stores, every article has the right place on the shelves. No matter if you are in Germany or in Denmark or in Hungary, if you go to a JYSK store, most probably you will see the same articles at the same place. And we do have a lot of concepts in HR too, which means that if I'm talking about recruitment, we have the same recruitment process in Hungary, what they have in Spain actually. And the benefit of this conceptuality is that it's quite transparent in every country on all levels. It's quite easy to measure, and the progress is trackable from year to year. Okay, what are the things we need to have some more impact on it? And if I'm talking about a recruitment policy, a recruitment concept, we do have KPIs attached to this recruitment concept. One of them is that the internal fee rate, and every country has a goal for the deputy store manager internal fee rate. For Hungary, this is 80% right now, which means that if we have an open position, 80% of the cases should have to be filled out internally and 20% externally. So if there is a deputy store manager open position in a certain store, that would be the best if we can fill out this position internally. So this is how we can develop our future talents and the existing staff. But of course, it could happen in some special cases or under some certain circumstances that it's not possible. We cannot hire anybody internally or promote anybody internally, and we have to find somebody externally. But there is this flexibility in the system as well, and we have the authority and the empowerment. Okay, that I'm the one who is responsible for the country, and we can decide together with the district manager and the store manager, okay, what should have to be the solution in this particular case. So what I have mentioned before, that I can really see the benefits of these concepts, because it's quite easy to have some best practices from other countries too, who have the same struggles like I have.
Okay, thank you for that.
So from global perspective, it's very interesting with what Agi mentioned. So we have similar goals with the 80% internal recruiting targets. So that's already a good signal for us. Thank you sharing these facts with us all. So from the global perspective, I would say we had the experience that once, we are, let's say, a 40,000 plus company presented all over the world, in all continents, more than 30 countries, so 150 plants overall. So if we are setting up a global strategy or a global policy, then we have always the challenges that we from the headquarters, we would like to say and see a result that one simple policy fits all needs, but we all know this is not that is not possible, right? So therefore, it's very crucial that from the global headquarters going down to the regions like in Europe or in Asia Pacific or in North America and South America, we really focus on the needs, on the requirements, which is needed in this area, and then if needed, we modify slightly the policy and give the needed flexibility to the region or even to the country if it's possible. The other topic which I would mention is absolutely crucial, but I think it's for all other projects, is the communication. So we have to, let's say, check when is the timeline to do the process, how we are going to cascade down the communication, and first of all take our stakeholders with us. So at this, in Agi's example, for example, HR and the recruiting team, and to understand what is their needs and how we can solve this before we go live.
Okay, thank you both. I think that It's quite interesting actually to see the different point of view. Before we end this conversation, I hope you're going to discuss as well between you, but let's see improvising a bit later. That's why I'm got related actually to next point. That's always about cascading, but it's about digital cascading. Okay, so you know better than me that nowadays companies are, of course, doing digital cascading in terms of, for example, 90% of top employers are applying HR technology platform, like could be Oracle, SAP, SuccessFactors, Workday, just to mention a few, HR Bamboo, whatever. They usually integrate different processes. Usually as well, this kind of system, as you can see, the majority of the companies are also applying in a HR self-service functionality mode for employees. So the possibility for the employees, if they're doing, for example, performance review, to do a self-evaluation or to have a self-filling up activity in other specific process, etc. 78% is not so high a percentage, but is still a high percentage of top employers companies that are also adopting dynamic dashboard with HR metrics, as we saw before, but from a digital perspective. And also, if you have an HR platform, actually it's worth it to assess it from time to time. Okay, so to check if it's working, if people are using that, if it's actually something that's efficient in terms of feedback from employees, etc. Here, I would like to play a game with you, Zsolt and Agi, if you're up to. So I have the same question of before. So if you can please list some, 1, 2, or 3 critical aspects, or maybe crucial, could be positive, could be something more like something that you could improve, you think that could be improvable, about how difficult or how challenging or how good is a digital cascading, okay? But try to change roles. I mean, Agi, you have to imagine that you are Zsolt, so you have a global role. Maybe it's going to happen in the future, I don't know, but right now try to use your imagination. And Zsolt, the opposite as well. So you're a local HR manager, could be Hungary, could be Italy, could be Switzerland, could be whenever you want. And you have to list 2 or 3 aspects that you think that you as local HR, imagine that, are more challenging.
Okay. Shall I start?
You're always the first, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So no matter if it's local or global, I think one of the, or from my perspective, the most important thing is the communication part. When we are implementing a new platform, we have to, my assumption is that we need to clarify more and more that why is it important to change a platform or to implement a new one which we didn't have before. So try to make sure that everybody understands the need of it and the reason of the implementation. So this would be my very first priority. The second one is if it's tested and reliable enough to implement in all the countries I would have, maybe, because it's quite embarrassing when you have a new platform which is full of bugs and it's not tested well enough and it's full of mistakes actually. Maybe that would be the best if there would be a group of people who are testing the platform before the being implementation, and the feedback from the business would have been considered during the development phase to ensure that it's as error-free as it could be. And the third one would be, and I think nowadays it's quite critical, if the platform or the new system is user-friendly. So no need for big descriptions, how to use it, what to do. I remember when we've been using some SAP tools for recruitment actually, and it is quite hard to understand what to click on and how to click on. And since we have changed to Smart Recruiters, which is a much more user-friendly and intuitive program, you don't have to teach it actually. You can find out the features by yourself if you are playing a little bit in Smart Recruiters. So this would have been my third priority.
Okay, Agi, just one curiosity. The former system that was a bit more complicated was also taught. I mean, there was a training as well. And even though the training wasn't so easy to understand.
yeah, that was a long training actually with some trial test version 2. But when there were some refreshment or the system didn't work as well as it was accepted, or there was some bug in it, you couldn't solve out by yourself, okay, what to do, how to solve this issue. So yeah, it wasn't as user friendly
Yeah.
for us as it should have to be.
Yeah, no, just to double check that sometimes you can apply a platform very user friendly, so you don't need to waste time or money or
Yeah.
whatever in training, and you can have a better result. Okay, interesting. What do you think, Zsolt?
Well, from the local point of view, I absolutely agree with Agi that we absolutely need the communication. This is absolutely key. Otherwise, we will lose our stakeholder and the local player, just like me in this role right now. Because, for example, let's take an example which is can be and was a live example in our case as well. Once we are implementing a program, we are facing always the situations with the bigger countries where we have already a big population, like 4,000 or 5,000 people, or even 1,500 people, that they have already very sophisticated systems, and they invested there a lot of money. So as me as a local HR manager, I have a resistance to change my program because I invested there a lot of money. Everybody can use it. Everybody is happy with this. So I actually don't want to change it. So now Agi is coming and saying from global perspective, we should do something, which is fine. But so Agi should convince me and tell me why I should do it. And I'm sure she will be able to manage it. That's fine. But then the next topic is if I'm convinced, that's okay. But then the next problem will be who is going to implement this, because in our local plants we have very limited resources. Yeah. So the question is who and when. So if the process should start somewhere at the end of the month, it will be a very bad time due to payrolls, or for example in April due to the performance reviews and so on and so on. So it's always very crucial to find the person who is going to do it, and then to find the right timeline globally for the global team and locally to implement it. And last but not least is the local regulations needs to be taken into consideration. So for example, if I implementing a policy with merit or with performance or wherever we have personal data involved, in Europe especially, and if we go to Germany, everybody knows the anomalies with the data protection rules. So this can be a very painful situation, and this can technically block the entire process executions if we don't have, let's say, the right and the timely communication and all the approvals from the stakeholders.
Okay. Anything to add to this? You agree on this? More or less, I see a lot of coincidence actually.
The fun question to Zsolt, if you have any specialists in the countries who are checking these regulations and following up on them, or how do you do it?
Yes, so we have experts who are, let's say, very professional in data protections, or then we are going to reach out to our legal department and going to external sources as well. But it's always crucial, the communications, and then bringing the stakeholders in a very early stage to the negotiations tables. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to go just outside. We can think about inside with the workers' councils, you know, that we have to have some discussions with them. We have to present the project, And of course, we have to present the projects to our leadership teams and the local leadership teams, and telling them then, the guys, an additional project, an additional workload, an additional training will be needed in the next couple of weeks or months.
Okay, well, you can understand all how not easy and challenging can be actually to manage with multicultural environment. And this is going to take us actually to the third point, or one of the last point of this panel session and interview. So basically, I have a question for both of you. Considering the fact that you have to deal with different countries, even Aggie, even you're responsible for Hungary, but you need to have conversation with other companies, colleagues, whatever. Have you ever applied, like, or maybe you can mention some project that you applied recently or in the last year, in the last period, that actually can focus on diversity, but not just diversity in terms of aging, ethnical diversity, etc., but diversity between countries, no? And how difficult but as well satisfactory could be to be part of this project or following up on this?
Yeah, I really have a quite recent example, because we have a special case that our country director is the country director of 3 countries in an Excel organization for Hungary, Austria, and Greece, which means that we are sharing the same country director, the financial manager, and we have a head of HR who is controlling and coordinating the HR functions in the 3 countries. And we have a head of retail who is doing the same in the retail. Actually, he's managing 11 people altogether. And the 3 countries are quite different from subculture point of view. And when we had this situation that it turned out that, okay, now we have to work together as an Excel organization, we had a Hogan team session in 2021 in Athens, when all of us with the retail manager, financial manager, HR, sit together and try to find out, based on our Hogan profile, what are our motivators, distractors, and how to handle it. What's the root cause of our behavior? To see this from this individual point of view. And this was a 2 days workshop. We had some action plans to make the communication and the cooperation even better. And of course, we also had some part of it to work on it as an individuals and as a team together. And after a certain time, we had in April this year, a follow-up activity for some cultural training for the same Excel organization, for the same participants, when we again sat together and try to understand the differences from the country perspective. What's behind the if we see it from the country perspective, to understand the difference in the motivation of our culture and subculture. And we also had some activities and some action plans to make sure that it's going to be happen, and to make sure that the cooperation is even much more better. And if we move to the next slide, there you can see the result of this 2-day session again, when we try to make sure that we will improve the CMT, the country management team work, improve the decision making part of the local CMT and the extended CMT too. And it's part of our business plan. So we take it quite serious, and we pretty sure that it will have some impact on our engagement too, engagement of all the 3 countries, and everybody's in the leading position.
Okay, thank you, Aggie. Very interesting, actually. I don't know if you mentioned already, but I saw that we have to manage across 3 different countries.
Yeah.
They were Eastern Europe countries, or they were totally different culture?
It's Hungary, Austria, and Greece.
Okay.
So actually, we can say that not totally different country, but if we consider Greece and Austria, yeah, they are from cultural perspective, they are on the other side of the scale.
I understand they are part of the same segment, of course, but
yeah.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much, Agi.
Okay.
Zsolt, you got something as well, I guess?
Yes, from my side, we would like to share with you like employee sourcing status and a project in Europe. So in a nutshell, what we are doing here, in times with limited resources, it's actually not self-evident that you share your resources with other plants because you have limited resources as well in your locations. But if we build up a community and an environment with trust, then if a colleague is calling you and telling you that they have a problem, then you are not going to shut the door and saying, I don't care about this colleague. You will try to help them. And this is our Dana culture. This is our DNA as well, that if somebody is calling us, we are always trying to help and find the best solution together. So in this case, it started actually in Belgium that we had some productions problems and workforce problems. So we should have some very quick solutions. And because we had very good relationship between the Hungarian and the Belgian colleagues, we could figure out that we can move actually employees very fast from Hungary to Belgium, and these projects became such a big. We can stay on this slide for a second. Became such a no, on the other slide, on the first one. So it became such a good success that we are doing this. It was like a pilot projects before, but after then we are doing this now on a continuous base. So what is, let's say, the benefit of this project? Of course, the flexibility. So in Hungary we have 4 business units, and then these 4 business units can very fast help to other plants, not just in Belgium, but in other plants like in Germany as well. We can move employees very, very fast. So that means that in the first time we started just with a couple of employees, and you can see the positions are not only blue collars, so from operators, from CNC operators to engineering to team leaders, and even in some cases salaried functions, controllers, and so on, can move to another country. But it means that the locations who is sending out the resources, of course, needs to stretch and keep the work for these people who you are sending to another location somehow covering. Yeah. So that's really a good success story. And from the employees' point of view, we can mention that they gain a wider view on multiculturality. They are going to a different environment. They know their colleagues more in a personal relationship. They will be confronted with another culture. And of course, they have to work in another environment. So once they are coming back, they have this very nice experience walking in my shoes as well. Of course, I mean, from Hungary to Belgium, we are paying a financial offset as well. So this is a financial, very good program for these employees. But it's not only the financial aspect. If we have the side effect that the employees are learning, let's say, on a natural way, English as well, the language knowledge will be better, and and the intercultural experience for the employees is growing enormously. So with this kind of diversity feeling and experience, life experience, they really learn that that if you help with others in difficult situations, then next time you can ask for support as well, and the other locations will support you as well, of course. So this is a huge and a very, very famous process which our Hungarian colleagues implemented.
Okay.
So at this stage, I really would like to thank them to this great access and project. And they won in Hungary as well an HR Best Practice Award, which they have received recently.
Okay.
So this is one thing. The other thing is what we are doing for diversity and inclusion workshops. You can see all over the year we are targeting different countries. We could do this actually very easy. That we are selecting, let's say, our biggest countries like Hungary, Germany, and Italy, and we are doing all the sessions there. But we would like to do the trainings always in different countries, just to have, let's say, the experience of the plans, the HR organizations, how to set up such a project, plus enable to our employees to rotate and seeing other facilities. So this is another way how we are realizing programs on a diverse way.
Okay,
Yeah.
just stop you for a second, Zsolt, because we are running a bit out of time. Okay, just hurry up a bit.
Okay.
I remind to the people that are attending the webinar that if they want to ask questions, we're going to have a Q&A right now, so you can already write in the chat if you want. So yeah, enough was this one. So please.
Okay, and just really two final closing sentences. So in this file, you can see that since 2018 until today, we have already trained 225 participants. So this is really a global program, but in the Europe region, we are really having a leading role in this. And already in 2023, so this year, we have already additionally trained 115 colleagues all over the countries. So this is really a very international process where we would like to show diversity and include all the locations independently, if it's a smaller location or a bigger location. And if this really makes sense, you can see here in the last slide. So we did a survey with all of the participants, and you can see that in the dark blue sections, more than 80% of the participants are saying, yes, I can apply what I'm learned in these trainings. So this is really, really very helpful and opening the eyes to our employees. So it's a huge success, and I would really encourage other companies to do this the same way.
Okay, thank you both for this. I had in my mind another question, but considering that we're running out of time, we can skip suggestions moment. Maybe we can leave for later if you have time, and we can go directly with Nuria to the Q&A session. Nuria, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here again. So let's jump to the Q&A section. We have some questions for you, Zsolt and Ági. Thank you for your insights. So for Zsolt, regarding the project that you mentioned, we have a question for you. Do you offer relocation support when they are on the assignment?
Well, so we have different programs. Of course, if we're sending employees to, for example, from Hungary to Belgium, we are restricting this to 170 days to avoiding the taxation problems within the European countries. So we are staying under the 6 months time. And of course, we are not sending our people to let's say, to a cold environment, we are supporting them with housing, with food, where to go to buy something, where to eat, and of course, which is very important, we try to build up the direct link with colleagues. So a kind of mentorship, for example, or buddy will take care of the group who is arriving to the facility. And of course, the people who have been already there previously, they sharing already experiences and telling what to do and what not to do, what does it mean to be, let's say, if the time is 8 o'clock and starting the shift, is it really 8 o'clock? Or maybe like in Italy is a little bit later or sooner, whatever. So
like in Spain.
these kind of small topics, so
Yeah.
these are very helpful information, and of course we are taking a supporting hand on them if they are on the road.
Okay, perfect.
And,
Thank you so much.
country.
Thank you so much. Well, we have another one for Agi. And so in terms of local HR policies, do you think all global HR policies must be implemented locally? Where should the flexibility limit be set?
It's a decision actually what we usually have when we have an HR community or HR meeting together with all the other countries, that okay, is this something we need to formalize it into a policy or a concept itself, or just give the right to the HR people in the country that how they would like to implement it. And if there is a concept or a policy behind, yes, it must be implemented, but it's based on about the team actually, or the topic itself. Okay, is it necessarily put it into the policy, or it's the decision of the country if they would like to implement it or not.
Okay, perfect. Then let's talk a bit more about digital, and some of the attendees are asking about this topic. Well, when you are implementing a platform in different countries, what type of approach do you use?
We have some execution model, what we usually do,
Yeah.
what we follow actually, and I would say that since we have this execution model, it's quite easy to implement new policies or new platforms actually. So it's quite well detailed how you should do it if you are following this execution model with the planning, the following up, and the communication part too. So it's very very easy to implement if you use this model.
Okay, perfect. And following with this topic, Zsolt, what kind of digital tools are you using internally to cascade the people strategy? If you can mention some of them.
Well, we are using Employee Central, so we call it MyDana, and the merit planning is what we use is for success factors. What we are now implementing globally. This has been executed, and we did like a pilot phase, which was relatively long in the US, but now we are rolling this out to globally to all locations. And of course, onboarding and offboarding all the HR topics, what we are doing in separate platforms, just like the talent management system and performance reviews. We are going to implement everything into this what we call MyDana system.
Okay, perfect. Well, the last one, because we are out of time, so almost. So about feedback. Do you involve people in the implementation? Do you ask feedback frequently? And how you use the input if you use it?
Mm-hmm.
For Agi, if you want, or Zsolt?
Yeah, just quickly answering this question. Yes, when we are doing the business plan, we are collecting some feedbacks from the stores, from the sales assistants, from the store managers too, and we have some surveys what we are using throughout the year to collect some feedbacks. We have the ESS engagement survey in every 2 years. We have the top employer feedback, what we can implement in. So there are feedback is coming from very different directions actually, and we have to filter out, okay, what to implement and what to not. But you would never know from where the best solution will come. So it's, yeah.
Well, thanks. Well, that's all. Davide, you want to
Yeah, we can
add
actually,
something more?
we got like 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe. So if we go back to the suggestion time that I sadly skipped before, Zsolt and Agi, if you have to give a suggestion to our people here, your colleagues, basically, your HR colleagues that are listening this session today, which one could be? Could be a sentence, a word, another hashtag, whatever. What do you think that's the best suggestion to people who are trying to implement like an international policy or practices or project, whatever?
My suggestion is that to be open and listen actively, because what I have said that you never know from where the best solution will come, and if you are open enough, then you will hear actually the people around you or in the organization, and it's quite beneficial.
I'm thinking as well in the same direction which Agi mentioned. So I would add to this to build up trust, because if you have trust, then you can hear really the true voice of your colleagues and the customers and the leadership, and with this then you can react and you can harmonize the processes to the how the headquarter would like to have it, and how the local plants would like to implement it and use it. So with this, I think this is the key to build up trust and then try to harmonize as much as possible.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much, everybody involved. Thanks, Nuria, for the support. Thanks, Zsolt and Agi. I hope that was interesting as well for the people who attended this webinar. It was a pleasure moderating this session. We can continue this conversation as well, maybe in person one day, if we have the chance. And nothing was all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So hashtag also a father of two boys, hashtag I am an HR Insights information junkie. Brilliant way of introducing and getting a conversation going there, Davide. Also excellent global local role play by and in-depth examples by you, Zsolt and Agi. Thank you so much for the valuable contribution. Really insightful, and thank you also for a brilliant moderation, Davide and Nuria. Thank you. So, next we finish Top Employers Inspire with a future-looking interview between our Top Employer Institute CEO David Plink and Research and Insights Director Quinten van Es. That's going to be very insightful. Be sure to register, and see you in a bit more than an hour for the next and final session of Top Employers Inspire.